Welcome to Third Floor Views, a production of Chesapeake Family Life, where we talk about health, education, and living with kids. I'm your host, Janet Jefferson. Today, we're talking about the Junior Olympics, and joining us is a junior Olympian, Drake Brown, and his mom, London Harmon. Drake and London are both from Annapolis, and right now they're down in North Carolina for the Junior Olympics. Thank you so much to both of you for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. To our viewers, this episode is pre-recorded, but as always, we love to hear from you. So if you have any comments or questions, you could drop them below or feel free to email us. Let's get started. So first off, Drake, how are you doing right now? How's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm training for Junior Olympics.
Yeah. And then you have, so today is Monday and you have your first race today. Is that right? Did you already have it?
No.
Not yet. Okay. When's
Not
your
yet.
first race? When's your first race?
The 4th.
The 4th. Okay. So you've got some time. So this is a big question, Drake, but what does it take to be a junior Olympian? How old are you right now?
10.
Oh my gosh. And what do you feel like when you're thinking about everything that goes into a race? What are some of the sort of skills or sort of personality traits even that you feel like make a successful junior Olympian?
I work on my phone when I'm running, and I always try to get a better time every time I run. And, I try to get a personal record every single time.
That's incredible. Those are some really big goals, always trying to be, beating yourself. But that's really impressive. Do you feel like you do that often?
Yeah.
Really? Oh my gosh. I wish I could say the same thing. So when did you start running? And you do the long jump too, right?
Yeah.
When did you start running and jumping?
I think I started running when I was 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I can only imagine you as like a really, really little kid, just zooming around the house all the time. Do you feel like are you the kind of kid that likes to run everywhere you go?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. And then have you been jumping as long as you've been racing?
No, I think I started running a year or 2 before jumping.
Really? Okay. What do you like better, running or jumping?
Jumping.
Really? Why? Why do you like it better?
Because it's I got a better chance of making it into stuff and getting medals.
Really? Really? So you feel like that's some place where you really shine and you feel like it's sort of easier competition for you is long jumping? Really? Have you always been super fast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've always been faster than all the other kids. And that's so it's like, oh yeah, I got a race. I'm just super fast. So here you are at the Junior Olympics. I'm assuming that there's a lot of training that goes into it. What does training look like for you? How do you get ready for a race?
I make sure I warm up, I stretch and all that. And I try to work on my starts before the races so I can get it down.
And what does that mean, working on your starts? Like, is that like how you push off?
Yeah, how I push off and, run as much as I don't know.
What are you thinking about? Like, are you thinking about, this might be a silly question, but are you thinking about like your toes or like where your feet are exactly? Or like if you're crouched down, like how your fingers are placed? What are you thinking about when you're thinking about starts and form?
I'm thinking about I gotta get out of the blocks and run.
So do you feel like it's more up in your head or do you feel like it's more physical, the stuff that you're thinking about?
Up in my head.
Yeah. So you're just telling yourself, go faster, go faster. And you're not thinking too much about your body and what your body's doing. Yeah. So What is your favorite thing about running?
My favorite thing is about, racing people and seeing what place I get. And
Really?
whatever place, if I get a good place, I'll be happy.
Really? So you love the competition of it. That's your favorite part,
Yeah.
and winning.
Mhm.
So I imagine you have a lot of medals. What do you do with like all the stuff that you've won?
I just put them in a bag, and sometimes I used to hang them up, but I got too many, and the stuff started falling down a little bit. So I put
You're
them in my.
you're just too good. So what are you most excited for when you're racing at the Junior Olympics?
Um, I'm excited for. I'm excited to see what place I get because I feel like I'm doing good.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what are you most nervous about?
Um, Getting injured.
Oh, what are some sort of common injuries that you worry about?
Um, my ankle and my hamstring.
Mm. Have you ever gotten injured before?
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't real bad that year.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Um, so how is the Junior Olympics different from, another race that you might do closer to home?
Um, I feel like in the Junior Olympics, I gotta like push more and do everything faster and harder than everything I do out here.
So you feel like there's more pressure to win and do well?
Yeah,
Do you feel like there's more competition too, like because you're competing with people from all over the country? Um, is it harder to win?
hmm
Yeah, yeah. Is it fun to meet other kids that are just like you that are really, really good, really fast? Or is it sometimes intimidating? It doesn't make you nervous?
no, it don't make me nervous. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah. Are you friends with anyone else who are junior Olympians or who are really big racers in other parts of the country?
Um, yeah, it's just my teammates. Yeah.
Yeah, your teammates. That makes sense. Um, so how do you balance going to school and running and training? Is it easy to, run and do schoolwork at the same time, or is it hard to be able to fit everything in?
Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. But like sometimes I do my homework at school, so I don't have to go home and do it.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Do you have time for fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like to do for fun when you're not running, jumping, or doing schoolwork?
Um, Go outside.
Yeah. Yeah. And just play.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, London, what is it like being a mother to a junior Olympian? I can't imagine. I have two much younger kids and they run circles around me, but I
Mhm.
can't imagine what it's like to have a child, a son who's kind of famous. What is it like?
Um, I'll say I'm lucky, very lucky to have him. He's very humble. He's a great kid. To sports, to grades, to respect. So I'm just lucky to have him.
Do you feel like there are certain things that you have to worry about because he's a junior Olympian and he's, balancing all these different things? Are there certain things that you worry about more than maybe a kid who's not doing those things?
I wouldn't say I worry, but I make sure he's always having fun while doing any sport that he does, any training that he does, because I never want to take the fun out of it. I want
Mm,
to make sure he's always enjoying it. Even
mhm.
if he's good at it, but he's not enjoying it, then he doesn't need to do it.
Right,
You
right.
know.
Yeah, that sounds like a really, really healthy way to go about it. But I imagine that it's hard because here you have Drake, you're one of the best athletes in the United States in your age group. That's, a really big deal. And I imagine that sometimes could be the idea of maybe walking away from that would be really, really hard. So how to make sure that you are still having fun and happy, I imagine could be hard at times. London, how involved are you in Drake's training?
Training, not so much. He has trainers, his coaches, his dad. So I don't help train. I may peek on what they're doing here and there, but as far as training, none.
Yeah.
But I'm at every practice and game and meet, but I wouldn't say training.
That's a huge time commitment, all of these practices and trainings and races. How often are all these things happening?
About 3 times a week.
Okay.
I have a 7-day week.
Gotcha. What are maybe some of the biggest challenges? So I know you've talked about like making sure that you're still having fun. Are there any other challenges of raising a junior Olympian?
Not really, honestly. Just making sure, like I said, the fun part, but I wouldn't say there's any more challenges.
Drake, you're just such a good kid. London, what advice do you have for other parents that are maybe in a similar situation that have really serious student athletes?
Just keep pushing your kid. Make sure that they enjoy what they're doing. You're not forcing them, and just be their, number one supporter.
What are your hopes and dreams for Drake?
I hope that he becomes very successful in life, whether it's a doctor, a scientist, whatever. Just I hope he's on the right path and continue to makes us proud.
Drake, what do you want to be when you grow up right now?
An NFL player.
Oh yeah, totally. That would be a lot of fun. And then what's next for your family after the Junior Olympics?
Football season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited for both of you. I'm so excited to see how the Junior Olympics go, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Drake Brown and London Harmon, for joining me today. Thank you also to all of our viewers and listeners. Make sure that you visit ChesapeakeFamily.com for local up-to-date information on home, health, and living for today's Maryland parent. This episode will be archived on ChesapeakeFamily.com in both video and podcast format. I'm Janet Jefferson with Chesapeake Family Life and Third Floor Views. Thanks so much.